Alright, let's continue with where we were. So I was continuing to explain how we would paint. So we click with the left mouse button while we hold the control key down, and with the right mouse button we can depress our geometry and go down. Okay, so left mouse button goes up, right mouse button goes down. Now there will be times that maybe your mouse disappears. Remember, if your mouse all of a sudden disappears, just try to find your way back to the viewport and just click, 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 click until your mouse reappears. Now you will probably want to do that with the right mouse button and not the left, just to ensure that you don't move anything or turn on the properties. So there's my outer exterior right there. It looks good. Let's go ahead and throw in a let's go ahead and turn on my shaded mode, and we can see our lighting. This is nice. Let's go ahead and add our texture. So we're going to go to the generic browser now, which is right here. Click on the generic browser. I'm going to go ahead and look for, inside of my terrain, a nice texture to go across that level. I'm going to use this terrain dirt. Actually, I want a rock, not grass. I want a really rocky surface that will look like the side of these mountains. Maybe something like sand rock. Yeah, that'll work. So I'm going to select sand rock here, and I'm going to come over to my terrain editor. Remember, you can click on this icon here if you lose that. We're going to right click in this gray area with our texture selected. Right click and choose new terrain setup layer from material auto create, and we're going to name the layer that this material is going to. So the layer is going to be called rock layer, and the texture, we'll go ahead and click yes. The texture we're going to create is going to be called rock texture. So this is going to apply the rock layer and rock texture into this scene. Excellent. Let's go ahead and add another texture while we're here and paint that. So we'll go ahead and come over here, and I'm going to choose this time some kind of grass. Let's go with like the grass and leaves. I like that guy there. Let's go ahead and select him. Okay, he is selected, grass and leaves right there. And let's come over here and right click, and we're going to go new terrain setup layer from material auto create. And once again, we need to name the layer first, so we'll call it grass layer. No spaces, no funny things there. Let's just really keep it simple, and then we'll call this grass material. We will be applying the grass blade static meshes to this grass layer here. So with this grass layer selected, we are going to paint our grass. Remember, when you want to paint the height or the mountain ranges, you need to be on the height map. When you want to paint textures, you need to be on one of these texture layers. This is being the one that's filling everything. This is being the first one we are going to paint. So let's grab the paint tool. Let's turn our strength up. Let's turn our radius up and our fall off. Let's come over here and paint something. Remember, you have to hold your control key down, and sometimes if it doesn't paint right away, like mine isn't, it does help to click on this icon here to refresh your terrain. If you still have issues with it not painting, okay, just reset Unreal. Sometimes that happens. Okay, sometimes you'll get in and you'll start painting and it will not affect anything. It is working. It's just a minute issue that needs to be refreshed when and it will refresh itself when you file, save, and file exit. So I'm going to do that real quick, and I guess I will load it back up. Just a side note, if you install Unreal Tournament from disk onto a Windows 8 system, you will not get this second editor icon. In order to make that icon, you need to make a shortcut out of the Unreal Tournament game executive file. Let me just show you how to do that real quick. So we'll make a shortcut. You'll right click and you'll choose create shortcut, and on the shortcut we'll say, we're just going to create shortcut here. Do you want to create shortcut to place on desktop instead? Yes, we do. This shortcut here that we created, we're going to right click on it, And actually, let me show you what it looks like here. Let me go to properties. What you're going to do is when you right click on this short, you're going to change your right click on this shortcut and open up its properties. You're going to change the last part of its properties to look like this. You just put the editor at the end with this little marking. And if you do that right, click OK. When you open it, it will open up the editor instead. Alright, so let me just load up my file again. Recent. Excellent. And let's get back to painting with our texture. Turn on my strength and my radius and my fall off. And let's come over here and we'll just start painting away. And yes, see, never fails. Okay, so yeah, sometimes that happens, and now, you know, if it does, you'll be alright. Let's go ahead and fill this area with some grass here. I'm not going to do the mountains yet. I'm just going to do the base here with some grass. Oops. Good. Just nice little patches of grass all around here. Now, if I want to do, I could always right-click to remove that. Left adds, right subtracts. Kind of get the point now, I'm pretty sure. Alright, so there's that. How about on the top of the mountains, let's add some grass too. Let's just do some real quick up here. Just on the top of these mountains, we'll just hit this real quick. Alright. There we go. Give it a real foresty look here. Just a little bit of mountain ranges there. Alright, and then we can clean up some of the sides here by reducing our radius. And we'll just float our mouse across here and just real quick. Clean up the sides of these mountains so we can see the rocks, right? We don't want to see a lot of grass. We want to see rock on the sides of these hills. So let's clean that up real quick. And let's add our grass material to this grass here so we can see the grass static mesh to this grass here so we can see the grass blades, right? So here's our level so far. And it's very flat. Let's add our grass blades. So in order to do that, we need to go back to our generic browser. Let me just fix my windows here. Move this over. I'm going to close that. And I'm going to open up my generic browser by... Let's fix this window here and move this over. Go in here. Click. And we need to turn on Show All Resources in order to see our package. Remember, we're looking for our game package. We're going to be affecting our... materials layer properties. So I'm going to select the DM first level right here. Yours will be DM or CTF, whatever your name. I'm going to go find the terrain material that I want to add that grass to. The terrain material is going to be this grass material here. Remember, we named the layer and then we named the material. Here's the material. We're going to right click and we're going to choose properties, and we're going to lock the property box so we don't lose it. Okay, lock that guy up. Let's go ahead and click on the foliage. Let's click on this guy here to open one up. Let's expand this 0. And this static mesh here, though it says none, this arrow is waiting for a static mesh to be put in there. So let's grab one real quick. We're going to come over here to UN foliage. Oh, looks like I have to load it. Let me go ahead and go through that path again. Remember, for you, it's going to be program files, Unreal Tournament 3, UT Game, Cook PC. Mine is a little bit different. So UT Game, Cook PC, environments. I'm going to go ahead and roll all the way to UN foliage. There it is. UN foliage. Open that up and let's go ahead and go all the way down to find. Ooh, this is too large. All the way down to find the grass. Excellent. Okay, so I'll use one of these grasses here. I'll use this one right here. Okay, so I'll select this guy there. There's some dead grass if you have a different color. And I'll come here, static mesh, I'll hit the plus, and immediately it'll go in there. And then I'm going to change the density to something like 5. 5 is pretty decent. And when I click and close, you'll see when I get closer to here, it starts to sprout out grass. Now, if I wanted to make the grass a little bit thicker, or larger, longer, I need to go back to my generic browser. Let me open up my generic browser. Generic browser, will you open, please? Oh, wrong icon. There we go. Generic browser, and I need to go to the properties again of my terrain. So DM and terrain material that we applied that to, grass material properties. And inside of the density option, we're going to look for the min, max,